Hello everyone, Tina here for Queen & Co. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, I have two fun projects to share with you. We're using the super fun and prehistoric Fossil Friends shaker kit. We're going to make two shaker cards today with these fun little dinosaurs. I'm going to show you what's in the kit real quickly, and then we're going to jump in and create some cards. On the reverse side of your cover sheet, there is a step-by-step guide, so don't throw that out. Actually, you can keep it in your plastic bag. It's a zipper bag, so you can hold all your contents. But this is a die guide that will show you how to make the Brontosaurus, the Mammoth, the Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and also the Pterodactyl. How cute are all of these? Today we're going to make a card with the Brontosaurus and also the Mammoth. I thought those were just adorable. They're all actually all adorable. So keep this. This is included with your kit. And then let's take a look at the rest of it. We have a stamp set. Let me grab some white cardstock. The stamp set is all occasion. There's birthdays in here. There's congratulations. There's just because. There's I love yous. There's thinking of you. There's even get well. So it's a variety of greetings that all go with dinosaurs. So that is our stamp set. There's some longer ones too that would go great on the inside. I just want to mention that too. You also get a full 6x6 mat stack. This is the Fossilized Friends mat stack. There's gray tone on tones. There's brown tone on tones, which are great for making your dinosaurs. The browns would go good, grays would go great. So I love the variety of pattern papers in here. Get the full mat stack. You also get your die set. There are 39 steel dies in this kit. Okay, and they're layerable and they create the cutest little dinosaurs. And using this maybe be something that you may want to laminate with your kit, because you want to keep this with it because it tells you what each piece does, which is very handy and very useful. So you get 39 dies, and then you also get your foam shaker elements. Inside the foam shaker elements there's 12 of them, so you can make 12 dinosaurs. Okay, and if you wanted to, since the belly of the dinosaur is all the same, you could actually make 12. It would be great for party invitations too. You could actually make 12 mammoths. You can make 12 triceratops, because all of the foam refills are the same. So that's nice and handy, along with your acetate window covers. Okay, that's included. And then you get 6 toppings. The toppings coordinate beautifully with your pattern papers. They're all the same. They're sprinkles and they are matte. And I just love this. Let me show you your pattern paper. You see how they go beautifully together? So you get all of this in the Fossil Friends kit. So let's jump in. To create my first card, I'm going to be using this. This is tone on tone polka dots. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but there's a pattern on here which is really nice. And we're going to make our woolly mammoth with this. And I'm also going to bring in another mat stack from my stash. This isn't included in the kit, but I love the colors in here. This is the Go Safari Solids. And I'm going to take some of the tan paper. Going to contrast great with my woolly mammoth, so we're going to cut out our woolly mammoth with this. And then for my background, I'm just loving all of these colors. I thought we would create a background with the green, with the teal here. I love that tan color, and then also I'm thinking the reverse side of the teal color has some stripes. We'll use a little bit of stripes in here too. Okay, for my card base itself, I'm going to bring in another die set. I use this often for my Queen & Co projects. This die set is the Foundations 3 die set. And I'm going to be using this piece and also I'm going to be using the banner here for this card. I'm going to cut out the banner with the stripe paper, and then with this paper I'm going to cut this out. Okay, and then let's grab our dies. Okay, we have this piece here. We're going to die cut this out with our dark brown, the body with the dark brown. This piece will go behind our shaker, so I'll cut this out with the lighter brown, and then I guess the legs or the knees of our dinosaur with the lighter brown. We're going to go with the circle for our woolly mammoth's face, and then we have the ears. I like that they're connected. That's really nice. The ears will go out with, we'll die cut out with our pattern paper, and then we have the ear centers here. We'll die cut these out with the light brown. Okay, we have the feet. We'll die cut out with our pattern paper. And you know, I'm going to bring in some darker brown cardstock. Okay, I'm bringing in some dark brown for my stash. There's the little hair and the feet pieces for our the woolly part to our woolly mammoth. We're going to die cut out with our darker brown cardstock. Okay, and we have the tusks here. Let's die cut this out with white cardstock. Okay, and then we have our elephant trunk. We have our woolly mammoth trunk. I'm going to die cut this out with our pattern paper here. And then this piece here goes, these are the toenails of our woolly mammoth. We'll die cut that out with white. Okay. Now there is a piece, this one here, we'll cut out the eyes. I'm going to color those in black, or I think I may bring in some Google eyes for my card today. But and I think we got them all. So that's all there is to our woolly mammoth. I'm going to run everything through my die cut machine, and I'll be right back. Once I have everything die cut out, I do want to mention that I brought in another die set from my stash. This is the Foundations 9 die set, and I'll be using this on both my cards. For this card, we're going to be using the balloons in here, and there's some balloon strings. I actually die cut them out with these two pieces of pattern papers. Okay, and then I just use black cardstock for the strings. And then my next card, I'm going to be die cutting out some leaves and also some of my clouds. Some of the leaves here, okay? So Foundations 3 and now Foundations 9 we're going to be adding to this kit. And I'll link it down below in the description if you want to check it out. Before we create our shaker, what we're going to do is create our background for our card. So I have this pattern paper, reverses the stripes. Remember, we die cut out the stripes with that banner. This measures 5.5 inches tall by 3 3/4 inches wide. This is going to go right down the middle of my card base, leaving some white edges. And I'm just going to use my glue to attach this. Then I have a piece of this green pattern paper. We're actually going to be using this same paper for our next card when we make our Brontosaurus. So let's go ahead and adhere this to the very bottom. Tack this down. Next we're going to take this strip, and I die cut this out with our die because I like the stitch detail. This is going to go right across the length of, this is going to go right in the middle of our card base. I have my measurements here, but we're going to cover our this with our mammoth, so I'm not worried about erasing that. Now I do have our stripes. What I'm going to do is layer both of these together, just adding some glue. I'm going to trim a little bit off the middle. We're just making this just a little bit longer for our card. If you wanted to, you could actually line the stripes up and make it continuous. But again, our mammoth is going to be covering this, so I think we'll be okay. Let's go ahead and add some glue behind this piece. I'll tack this down. Now we'll put this to the side and we're going to work on our mammoth. First, we're going to attach our ears. We're just going to add a little glue here. And then we'll take the inside piece to the ears and we'll just layer that. We're going to do the same thing to our left ear here. Add a little glue and we'll just do a little layering. I'm going to add a little dots of glue here to the left and right of this piece. And this is where we can add our dinosaur knees. Okay, I'm going to take this piece. We're going to bring in our foam. I'm going to just punch one out. And I'm also going to bring in a piece of acetate. For this card, we're going to use our brown shaker bits. I'm going to take our foam, punch out that middle, and then I'm going to make sure I have the right side up. I'm going to remove the release paper off of the back, and I'm just going to line it up on this back piece, and it should layer beautifully, and then we can just fill it. I like to just shake it a little bit, and then I'm going to remove the top release paper. It removes very easily. And then we can add our acetate right over the top. Our inside, and it's portable, which makes it really nice. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. Rather than using glue, I'm going to bring in my tape runner. This way I don't have to worry about glue oozing out on that acetate. We're just going to go ahead and adhere this and we're good to go. Okay, I'm going to take this, we're going to put some glue just over the bottom area, and then I'm going to tack this down. Once we have this adhered, right at the bottom we're going to add some glue, and then this is where our dinosaur feet come in handy. Small side up, we're going to add these. I'm going to add a little bit of glue at the bottom, and then we can add our toes. Okay, and then that fur that we die cut out with the darker brown cardstock, we add a little glue at the very top of our feet, and then we can add some fur. And then I went ahead and placed the fur right on top of our feet there. Now I do want to add a little bit of shading, so I'm going to bring in some brown ink and my blending tool. Really any kind of ink that you have would work. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of ink and I'm going to do a little shading on my ears. We'll do both sides. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little shading on the knee portion of our dinosaur. Also, this is the face of our mammoth. I'm going to add a little shading on the bottom area here. Now that all our shading is done, let's create our little mammoth face. We're going to add glue behind our ears, and we'll just go ahead and add these. I'm going to use a lower profile foam square, and I'm going to add it behind my mammoth here. For a little extra dimension, we'll add that. I'm going to go ahead and add glue behind his hair, and this just transforms this little guy. Just that little piece of hair. It's so cute. We'll add a little dot of glue behind our tusks. And we can tack these down. Now we're going to add our mammoth face. And all we do is add glue at the very top of our shaker. And then we can add our mammoth. We're going to flip it around here. And to give his face a little bit of stability, we're going to add the negative piece of our shaker. We'll just put it right behind his head here. Just to make this guy a little playful, I'm bringing in some Google eyes from my stash. And we're going to add a little playfulness with the Google eyes. We'll just add these. And you can put them as close together as you want or as far away as you want. Now, I think I want some eyebrows on my woolly mammoth. So, this piece here is eyes to our Brontosaurus, and then this piece here are eyes to our Stegosaurus, or Triceratops, I think. But these are smile faces. But I think the smile faces are going to make perfect eyebrows. So I'm going to die cut these out with black cardstock, and I'll be right back. So now we have two smiley faces that I'm going to turn in to little eyebrows. Okay. I'm going to put these back so I don't lose them, and then our little dinosaur is good to go. Now, just to make everything flow together, I'm also going to bring in my black marker. I'm using a black Sharpie today, and I'm just going to add a few little dots on our dinosaur knees. Almost like we're giving him freckles. And our woolly mammoth is so cute and all done. Okay, we're going to stamp the greeting that says, "Have a woolly good birthday." I'm going to use my black ink for this. We'll stamp it on white cardstock. And then I'm going to use my trimmer and we'll trim this down. And I'm going to add some foam squares behind here. I'm going to use some foam from our shaker. I'm going to add it to the right side of my greeting here, and then I'll use my tape runner. We'll add some adhesive here, and then I'm going to overlap on my shaker just a little bit. Okay, and no birthday card is complete without a little confetti, so I'm bringing in some coordinating epoxy dots from Queen & Co. These coordinate perfectly and that finishes off our first card, a fun little birthday card. Now we're going to jump into our next card project. For this card, we're going to create our shaker first. So we're going to punch out that negative piece. I'm going to remove the backing and tack this down to that background piece. It fits perfectly. And then for this dinosaur, we're going to use green, and I thought we would mix it up with a little bit of gray. Tack that down. We got a little shake. And then again, for this one, we're using this piece, and I followed along our guide. I don't need the inside piece. I do want to add some adhesive just behind the stitched area. And we can tack this down. Now let's add the whites to our feet. It goes along the very bottom. We'll just pick these up. Before we add our feet, I'm going to do a little shading on this dinosaur. Shading on pattern paper, it makes it really dimensional. It gives it a little bit of depth. Let's bring in a little bit of green ink. And I'm going to add a little shading to the upper part of my feet. And then I'm going to add it to my dinosaur's knees. Now you'll notice that I have some little hands there. Those are for the Tyrannosaurus Rex. But I thought we would add those to this Brontosaurus, because I thought it'd be cute if he was holding a little heart. But I wasn't sure if it would obstruct my shaker or not. So we may not add these, but I am going to add a little ink to these. Okay, now we can put together the rest of this little guy. I am going to trim down a piece of, I'm going to put it behind the neck of our Brontosaurus. Okay, and I do want a little dimension with the snout, so I'm going to bring in a small foam square from my stash. And then I'm going to flip this over and put another piece of foam tape behind his head now. Now I want to add a smile to this little guy. Let's go ahead and add a thin bead of glue. And I did die cut out the eyes too, but I'm going to add, I thought we would add Google eyes to his face for a little playfulness for this card also. So we'll just go ahead and add his eyes. Now I did die cut out a heart with the Foundation's 9 die set, and I wanted to see if I could have him hold a heart. So I'm just going to glue the hands to this little heart. Now this is not following your die guide. This is just another variety. A little bonus. I'm going to go ahead and put some foam tape behind. So our little Brontosaurus is all done. Now we're going to go ahead and create our card base. Now using our Foundation's 3 die set, let me show you. I used this and die cut out some of our stripe paper, and then I'm going to use the same paper we used to create the balloons, and I'm going to create a little hillside, and then I'm going to use my tape runner. I'm going to add some adhesive behind here, and I'm going to tack it down on that pattern paper, and then using the rectangle die from our Foundation's 3, I'm going to die cut this out. We're just going to add some glue behind here. Tack this right in the middle. It's going to leave me a little border. I'm going to add my stripe paper, but before I add it, I want to add some greenery in front and behind it. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. Basically, I want to kind of treat this as if it's like a trunk, a tree trunk. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to add some glue behind here. And I'm going to tack this down to the right of my card here. And then we have some clouds that I can tuck. I went ahead and stamped my greeting on my cloud there. And I adjusted this leaf here. I put it over on this side. But the sentiment says, "So sorry you are Jurassic." How cute is that? Feel better quick. I think Google eyes will just make anybody feel better. I do have a little overhanging, so I'm going to trim that cloud off. And then I'm going to bring back some of my epoxy dot. Okay. And just so my heart stands out a little bit more, I'm going to add a little bit of white accent along the bottom here. And that will finish off that card. So here's a look at both cards that we made today with the Queen & Co. Fossil Friends Shaker Kit. Some fun cards. We have a birthday card. We have a get well card. Sure to make some smiles. Thanks so much for visiting. I wish you a lovely day. We'll see you. Bye-bye.